This is the Trumpet of Hope, Captain Joragawajeri, and together with me is Dr. Susan Gitau. Say hello to our people.
Oh yes, Dr. Susan Gitau here, a counseling psychologist based in Kenya and a lecturer at African Nazarene University and a business lady running the same business in counseling at Africana College of Professionals in Thika and International Professional Counselor Center, private practice. And for community service, you can Google Susan Gitau Counseling Foundation if you want to partner with me to lift up, that we rise by lifting others.
Wow.
That is Susan Gitau Counseling Foundation.
You were brought up in Kiandutu.
Oh yes.
How has that
shaped my life?
Shaped your life?
Oh yes. I think I did like my life up to the age of maybe 26 there. When I got to know that being brought up in Kiandutu, even if I never used to see it as a big issue, there are other people who see it as a big issue.
Yeah.
And I was very sad at that point, but I said I want to turn these bitter lemons into very delicious lemonade, and I decided to learn from my experiences. And at the age of 26 is actually the age that I gave birth to my son that I treasure a lot. I always say he's a very big motivation in my life, but I learned a lot. I learned that the slum, there are people who see you carrying the slum with you. There are people who see you carrying your family if it is a family that is down there with you. I learned that there are people who think being brought up in such a neighborhood is the end of your life. And so I said I want to change the narrative. I also remembered in the same slum when I got very traumatized as a child. I remembered that God, and if you hear me talk a lot even now, you will see more in churches than anywhere else.
Yes.
Because at the age of around maybe 10, 11 years old, I remember reading from the small Gideon's Bible about the birds of the air and the flowers, and how they get, it's like whatever I need, God showed me. If I take care of those flowers that will be burnt tomorrow, Susan, who are you? If King Solomon never dressed like those flowers, who are you? Then the birds of the air are ever happy, chirping, singing, and they don't go anywhere to sow, and they feed, and they are ever happy. Who are you, Susan? And I got that faith, so innocent like a little child, and I believed my world is gonna be bright. And so I never lacked. I told you I drank a lot of moi milk. Maziwa. I used to go to many people's homes, Majengo, Ziwani, TUDC, wherever, and I would eat, okay? And again, I can tell you my school fees was paid by Visa Osho community. You wouldn't imagine Asians paying school fees for this girl.
Beautiful.
And so even when I went to the university, I had one sponsor that told me, I do not want men to use you. Any money you use, I will provide. How is that? It must be divine intervention. But at the age of 26, I almost changed that narrative, but I remembered, God, you have been there with me. And so I said, I'm going to use my story. I'm going to use my experiences to empower other people. I guess I am the only therapist in a very big way that talks about her life.
And that impacts very positively to others.
And
they relate.
But people don't know. It's because I want to give testimony to that Father, the Almighty Father, because my stories are many, bit by bit. You can't even finish today, bit by bit. And that's why I launched Pain to Fruitfulness, such that every bit of my life, connecting with bits of other people's lives, people can know that in all situations, you can be fruitful.
Wow.
And so my purpose in life is already clarified, that whatever I am, whoever I am, whatever God has given me, wants me to glorify his name.
Thank you.
And so I am an evangelist, that I can say a mental health evangelist.
Thank you so much, Dr. Susan. I look forward. We're going to walk that way. This is Spanaway in Washington State. And it is nice. Dr. Susan has been in the UK, has been in other countries, and right now she is right here in Washington State. And after traveling, I know you have met Kenyans.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe there is one thing you would tell the Kenyans.
Yes.
And we are going to do that as we walk. Maybe tunaweza tembea hivyo.
Yes.
Wakati tunaongea tu pole pole hivyo. So uchunge
usianguke. So maybe what I'm gonna tell Kenyans, especially about our families in the diaspora, it is not easy. Some of them came here, the land of opportunities, the land where all dreams are valid, but you do not know the demons they fight on a daily basis. Kindly, every dollar they send to you, and because I'm speaking about the people in the diaspora here from Kenya, kindly use it wisely, because if you use it wisely, if you invest it well, you don't have to keep them here. They can come home and celebrate. But every time they send you a dollar and it does not do what they sent you to do with it, then you're keeping them here longer and you're making them suffer. And I would like you to know some of them cannot come because their status are not in order. So don't keep blaming them that there is a death that occurred, there is something that occurred and they never made it. They battle things that you may never have an idea about. So kindly keep praying for them, keep supporting them, and the people here in the diaspora. Tunasemanga sasa wale wako hapa ni wenyeji. Ninawaomba sana mupendane mkiwa hapa. Nyinyi ni wageni hapa Umarekani. Mupendane sana, mushikane pamoja. Na kanisa nayo zinduka, ufanye kazi yako, meet the people's needs. Do not just preach the word and you're not meeting their needs.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wewe ni evangelist wa kabisa.
Thank you so much. Mungu ni mwema.
Thank you so much. Now, if you want to talk to Dr. Susan, you can be able to visit her Facebook, her YouTube channel. You can Google Dr. Susan, and you can also give her a call through her office so that you can at least have a therapy, trauma therapy. Hey, before you leave, this is quite important. This is quite important.
Yes.
Burnout.
Yes.
Don't you think that people are going through burnout and they don't know?
Here, people, and especially because of the challenges I have told you about status and maybe even having papers that allow you to work. So they can be called anytime. So tunaita masa ama shift.
Yes.
So sometimes you hear them doing double shifts and all that. And I want to tell you, that makes them have burnout. And burnout in 2019, the World Health Organization declared it a serious mental health condition, a serious medical condition. So it makes you sick in the body, it makes you sick in the mind. And so finally, people who are not able to deal with their burnout, they will actually end up in depression. And when they have depression, you will wonder why they have skyscrapers back in Kenya, why they have millions in their bank accounts, why did somebody think about dying, why did somebody get into depression. So I want to tell the people in the diaspora, as much as we need your dollars, we need you live, whole and fit.
Repeat
so
that.
Make sure we need you live, whole and fit, and we need you to come back home and celebrate every dollar that you worked for. Amen. We also pray that when you are together, you support each other. Please form support groups and go to church. When I'm talking about the church here, I think I have left a very serious narrative here that church is not just church as we used to know it. It is a social setting. Come and have small groups that meets your unique needs in the church, and the pastors and the priests, my prayer is that your congregants can also keep you in church because you're also working like them. Kwa hivyo kanisa iajibike, wale wanakuja washirika waajibike, na pia wale ambao wanahudumia watu kanisani waajibike. Why? Because I am also here because I want to train more counselors with All Nations Christian Church University. I have been doing that since 2022. Let us raise more counselors so that in every church there will be a therapist. That every Sunday, every time you're going to church, there will be a therapist on standby, such that you don't go back home feeling empty, yet you came so that you can live in abundance. You know, we say in John 10:10 that the devil comes to kill, to steal, kill, and destroy. But Christ came so that we may have life and have it more in abundance.
Wow.
So we want to experience that. And that is why I said pain to fruitfulness.
Thank you
TikTok
so much.
utapata mambo mengi pia.
Thank you so much. That is wonderful.
Thank you. Thank
that
you.
That is wonderful.
Thank you.
I look forward. You know, being brought up by your dad Gitau, and then he passed away.
Yeah, when I graduated, the night I graduated from University of Nairobi, that's the night my dad died.
And then your mom
died 3 years later. because of liver cirrhosis. So she had cancer of the liver.
And here you are.
Here I am.
God has been faithful.
He's a faithful God.
Thank you
and
so
that's
much.
why I would want people to know that children like me were childhood trauma. Then later on, other things crop up and follow you. But do not give up. I would like people to know when you build resilience in life, there is no way you will not be able to pull.
Have you written books?
I have written one book. My PhD work is already on Amazon because I focused on a traumatized group, IDPs, internally displaced persons, 2007. And then the small booklet I came with, that is Pain to Fruitfulness. I have other book chapters, but I have many books, and I believe those books will come out. I'm just waiting for fans to roll them out, because books on burnout, books on stress, books on my own journey, and explaining my own journey, they are there as drafts or manuscripts.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Next time we are going to talk about bringing up a child when you are just single.
Amen.
I think that is important.
Very
so
key.
We are going to discuss that because as she said, she got her child at the age of 26.
Yes.
And I know there are so many people here who are single mothers bringing their boys.
Imagine.
How do you take care? And what are the do's and the don'ts so that you will bring up a man who is a man. A man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have to cry that they are doing drugs, that you don't have a conversation, you're not having communication. You don't have to be afraid to let them go.
Thank you. Asante sana.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.